Hey guys, welcome back to the End is Near Gear podcast. I just walked out here to my garden to show you this year how it looks before, because it is pretty rough shape as it was left in the fall. Up here I have, if you can see this, it's very fine deer netting here all the way around, and my door is a little thicker to get into the garden. But down here I put metal fencing that comes up a foot or two high to keep the rabbits from chewing through the plastic fence, because that's what they started doing last year. Now, prior to that, I had already had this metal fence that comes up. It's actually bent at a 90-degree angle. Let me pan this down and show you. You can see it here on the ground maybe. My shadow's not in the way. You can see the fence is not buried there. On the rest of the sides of the garden, the long sides and the back side, I did put that in before the season started. I dug it all the way around, bent it at a 90-degree angle, and put it in to help stop things from digging into the garden. Kind of like you would around a chicken coop, just maybe not as deep. But I didn't have any problems with stuff trying to get in that way. In the past, my mother-in-law's had issues with groundhogs and stuff digging in, and I thought that would be a good idea to do something similar to a predator apron, but for the garden. But in the front, I didn't do this last panel, and because I didn't do the last panel, what happened was the rabbits started chewing through the plastic towards the end of the season, and I had found myself ending up having to cut a piece for there and stuff. So this year I'm going to get that buried before the season starts. Again, I apologize for the chainsaw in the background. My husband's cutting firewood. So that's how it goes when you're trying to do the things. So, but yeah, my garden's kind of in disarray. Let me open the door and step in here for a second. I'll give you a little peek, little tour of what my garden was. So this center section, looking down at it here, goes all the way to the back. Up here, this was beans and stuff that were in this, I had this tarp down to help as a weed barrier. I should have picked it up at the end of the season, but I didn't. And I had some beans and yellow beans and stuff here. And then coming down the middle, I had some corn, which you might be able to see the stalks that are left if I get the right camera angle here to get my shadow out of the way. Can you see those or not? Can't tell. Too much glare on my screen to really tell. But yeah, so I had corn, early Sunglow sweet corn coming right down the middle here of the garden, all the way down to the back where I had watermelons and pumpkins, which again, I said I did not leave enough room. I really should have let them go on the outside and stuff, because you get plenty, and even if the animals get some, they just took over the whole garden. They choked out my cucumbers, my lettuce, and everything else. I never even got lettuce. My cucumbers didn't do so great. So, yeah, that was my own fault. I should have left more space, and I did not. So, we'll just pan over here for a second. Starting in here somewhere, I had onions and garlic and stuff coming up. I had a bin with potatoes last year. I'm going to do the potatoes directly in the ground this year and stuff. Coming up this way is where I had my peppers and tomato plants up in this corner. And then over in this corner was where I had my carrots and radishes and stuff like that. And then I had another little patch of tomatoes over here, which were Hampson tomatoes and all of that. But yeah, overall this really needs a tilling. It definitely needs to be cleaned out and tilled and everything else. And that's where that is. You can see I have some empty water jugs here. I typically keep 3 5-gallon buckets full inside the garden. If I use them to water the garden, I will refill them at the end of the night or whatever, so that they're ready to go for the next day. I'm a little bit off the beaten path to keep my garden away from being viewed from the road, because again, I don't want people to see my garden during the day and then drive by and steal my vegetables at night in a post-event, obviously. This is just a little lean-to that has a roof, because my rain barrel typically will sit up on this platform to give it enough gravity to feed out the bottom. It was drained and taken down for the winter, so it's not here. I catch water in these 2 large jugs here, 2 large containers, which before I actually fill them with water, they'll be used for hauling manure and hay and stuff up to the garden. I use my UTV a lot to haul stuff, because it's quite a haul. In a post-event, though, I do have a wagon that I can haul stuff on manually, but it will not be fun. So hopefully we don't get a drought and the water provided from the rain barrel and these other containers will be enough. So yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to walk back down to the house, and I just wanted to do a quick update. So thank you for watching.